Hello everyone, my name is Kamren the person, and yes, it has been that long since you've seen me IRL in the room. Thank you for noticing. But that just raises the better question. What exactly is it I'm doing here? Because I'm not typically here unless it's for a special occasion. Well, that occasion is now. You see, by the time I'm recording this, it'll be in the next few hours before Death Battle Season 10 finally comes. And the first episode of the season is going to be the Ant-Man versus Atom. Now, there's a matchup in this show that I've always wanted, and if you look at a particular Brandon Yates track, you'll find me there stating my reasons why. So, when I found out that this was going to be on the championship ballot and won, I knew I had to do something, because I have a very personal history with the matchup regarding the characters. You know, because it's my most popular video on the channel at the moment. But I digress. All that aside, hope you enjoy the reaction, and if you like this, maybe at the end of the season, I'll do a full rank and review, kind of like how my friend Raccoon Bro does it. By the way, speaking of which, go watch his Season 9 retrospect. Jesus, it's good! But all that aside, now that we're out of that, hope you enjoy the reaction. Alright, the start of Season 10. Let's get into it.
Ant-Man, Marvel's founding member of the Avengers.
Hankpym, I
The
think
Atom,
they're using.
DC's legendary
Don't
Mighty
forget
Might.
using Scott
Good
Lang
things
stuff.
come in small packages.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
We're just trying to get these out of the way.
Yeah.
He's whiz that boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their
Ants.
weapons, armor, and skills
And
to find out
atoms.
who would win
Love
a death battle.
Let's kick some ass. Oh,
Did you know that ants can lift
I will say
50
the
times their own body weight?
spray
That'd be
animation
like
so
if you lifted
far
a car
looks
straight
pretty
over
alright.
your head.
I did, thanks to my fun fact of the day calendar. Also, Hawaiian pizza
hey,
was invented in
Futurama
Canada
clip. We love seeing
yesterday.
those.
Well, I bet your calendar didn't tell you that Dr. Henry Pym, aka Hank, was considered a genius at a very early age. By 3 years
like
old,
every
doctors
other
declared that
Marvel
he was
and
smarter than
DC
both his
inventor.
parents combined.
No, he's
He
part of the Blue
eventually
Man Group.
majored in biochemistry and became one of the most successful scientists in his field. He had big ideas about shrinking the size of cargo to reduce shipping costs. Logistics.
That
All
would
of which
be
made
very
him
nice.
a laughing stock in the scientific
Unfortunately,
community and sparked a
I
long-lasting insecurity
Yeah.
and need to prove himself.
But he did it. He developed a working serum. He went from laughing stock to Christmas stocking. The much better stock, right behind Bean and Live.
Oh,
So, naturally,
no,
he tested the
no,
serum on
don't
himself,
talk about
like any
livestock.
self-respecting scientist would, and shrank down to the size of an ant.
And just when things started
Ants.
going south, a sweet little ant, let's call her Aunt
I
Hathaway,
made a little
swooped
friend.
in and led Hank safely back to his lab where he could return to full size.
Hank then harnessed the serum and became the superhero Ant-Man.
I will say that
Along
the
with his new
helmet
identity came
still
a fascination in
looks
entomology,
insanely
which makes total
ridiculous.
sense. Ants are
I mean,
fascinating.
the utility's
Did
nice,
you know
but
that
like,
ants can talk to each other in
it's
a
still
bunch of different ways?
ridiculous.
Through touch, sound, or even sharing information by barfing at each other.
It's actually called
Really?
trophallaxis, and they're not barfing per se. It's more like passing food mouth to mouth.
Gross!
So
Hank
what, like
figured
a
out
mama
how to
bird?
communicate with his
Huh.
new pets, not by barfing, but by creating a
Better be
cybernetic
learning a
helmet
lot
that mirrors an
about
ant's
ants
antenna.
and
And he's
atoms
even
today.
developed genuine relationships with some ants,
I
like
forgot that movie
USS's
was a
ant
thing.
here.
But he didn't stop
Actually,
there.
I don't think I've
Hank
ever
developed
seen
a lot
any
of
of the
amazing
Ant-Man
tech like a
movies.
stinger pistol that focuses his bioenergy into a stun beam, and image-inducing camouflage to mask himself as an ant. It worked so well it
How does
fooled
that
Reed
work?
Richards, the smartest guy on the planet.
He also built a suit that runs on that nifty serum he
How in the
made
hell
back in
does
his
that
lab.
work?
It lets him shrink thanks to the newly discovered Pym particles, named after himself. Classic Hank.
And the
Self-serving
Pym
as
particle is the
always.
key to unlocking the fundamental constants of the quantum mechanics at play here. They enable you to decrease the distance between atoms. However, in
Oh,
order to do
hey,
that, he'd have to
between atoms,
change the
it's
Bohr
like the
radius,
guy
the
he's
ratio of
fighting.
electron mass to the distance the electrons orbit an atom's nucleus.
Of course.
Marvel Ultimate
Like
Ultimate
how when you
Alliance
make a
3
bagel
footage.
pizza,
My
you
favorite
can't put
game.
The whole pizza on the bagel. Believe
play
me,
that game
I've
sometime
tried.
again. It's
It's
been
too
a
small.
while.
You just gotta put less on.
Sure, Boomstick. So the Pym particles are actually
Sure.
displacing mass to an alternate dimension in order to maintain that ratio.
Oh, it's like having a second bagel to put the rest of your pizza on. I get it.
But if that were true,
What?
he shouldn't be able to punch with full-size strength if he has less mass.
And he's definitely lighter, because otherwise
So
he'd
what,
crush
when
the sweet antsy
is he
rides
moving
like
in
Vincent Van
between
Gogh here.
dimensions and
His
he's
mass
going
is being
small?
replaced with massless
I've always been
neutrinos,
confused
but that
about
doesn't
that when it
adequately
comes to,
explain
the
how he can
smaller
have less
characters'
mass and
powers
seemingly
like that.
more mass at the same time.
Sure it does, Wiz. Trust Pym and his particles. Look at
Oh,
the guy.
hi,
He's
new
explaining
Wiz
the whole
outfit.
thing while wearing a lab
I said
coat.
wi-
What's
I
more
meant boomstick.
trustworthy than that?
New boomstick
You're
costume.
the exception.
You think you understand this?
Oh,
Wow,
of course.
this jacket is
His
so
moment's strong.
greasy.
You said something about a boar, so I guess you wanted
What is
ham
that?
on that
Which
pizza,
point?
but
Is
I
it
already
SNL?
made the pizza.
Will you take that coat off?
No.
Man.
Regardless, there is virtually no limit to Hank's ability to shrink. He can go
Oh,
beyond
it's his,
subatomic down to the
it's his yellow and
underspace,
black
a
costume,
plane
I
of
remember
existence
that.
below all realities in the Marvel Universe.
And Hank has literally changed his biology. He's rewritten his own chemical makeup to prevent anyone else from changing his size. And he's used Pym particles so much, he's now got an energy field around him that lets him change the size of people or objects on the fly, through touch or by straight
So
up
he could
firing
just
Pym
make
particles in the
people
air.
smaller and
He's never
bigger.
shy about using them
So
either.
he could just
He
bring
eventually
blackness
supplied
down
his
to his
wife,
level.
Janet Van Dyne, with some Pym tech to become the Wasp, his
Oh.
partner in crime fighting.
The two ended up rubbing shoulders
Sure.
with A-listers like
Partner.
Thor, Iron Man, and the Hulk to take down Loki. Ant-Man and the Wasp
Oh,
were
hey,
actually
Loki.
the ones that captured him
I
and
wanna
pitched
see
the
you on
idea of forming
deathbattle.
the Avengers.
You're like the only
Unfortunately,
Marvel
Hank's
villain aside
insecurities
from
started to
Octopus that I
creep
want to
back
see
in,
on
and he
here.
felt that if he wanted to keep up with the big heroes, he was going to have to think bigger.
Enter a bunch of those Pym-powered alter
Think.
egos like Yellow Jacket and Giant Man,
Oh,
where he
that's
can
where they
grow
come
anywhere
from,
from
okay.
12 feet tall to so big he can enter the overspace, the polar opposite of the underspace.
There he
Huh?
met Eternity, who called
Oh,
him Earth's
you.
Scientist Supreme. Something he won't let you forget.
Hank pushed himself to these insane heights, even though he
Smarter
knew the
than
strain
Reed
on his
Richards
body
and
could be
Iron Man.
fatal.
That's
But he
rough,
simply
buddy.
didn't care and kept pushing himself. Thus, his greatest and worst creation was born.
Ultron.
Ultron.
Yep, all the Tin Man Tron
Yep.
was created by Hank, not Tony like the movies. But the mass
Yeah.
murder butt thing
As
turned
much
out
as I
pretty
love
much
the
the same.
MCU,
Big
it
swing and a
derivatives
miss
from
there.
The fallout from
From the
Ultron
comic
left
stuff
Hank
quite
in
a
a
bit.
bad place, to say the least. His guilt made him feel like an utter failure, and that his best work was behind him. This led Hank to do unspeakable things.
A real low-life
Oh.
move. And even though poor
Yikes.
mental health doesn't excuse
Yeah.
this behavior, it was clear that Hank needed help. He suffered multiple mental breakdowns, endured the
Yeah,
physical
he
toll
has
of the
kinda
Pym
had a lot of
particles,
mental
and had
episodes over
bipolar
the
disorder
past
that went
few
undiagnosed
years,
for
hasn't he?
years.
So Hank finally did the best thing he could. He acknowledged his problems, got the help he needed, and committed to self-improvement.
And with that
That's
help,
good.
Hank slowly started making things right. He rebuilt the West Coast Avengers, gave Scott Lang his blessing
Hey,
to become
Scott
the
Lang,
second
Scott Lang.
Ant-Man, and finally
Alright,
defeated
so it looks like
Ultron.
they aren't
He created
putting
a
in
backdoor
Scott Lang
Trojan
stuff, but it's nice that
infiltration
he's
code
got
to
a
defeat
mention.
Ultron that was so advanced it went on to replicate and evolve all on its own to create a new species made up of artificial intelligence.
They don't call him the
So what, he
god
just
of
made
modern AI
life?
for nothing. Hank
made
has showed
society.
over and over again that he's an integral part
Alright,
of the
then I'll
Marvel
buy it.
universe.
Not just by ways of his scientific contributions or victories in battle, but by proving that heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
Oh my fucking god, they did have to end it like that, but they did.
Raypalmer was born
Oh, hey,
an
Adam.
average
Nice to meet
human-sized
you.
person. He grew up in the Northeast, studied physics
Raymond?
at Ivy University, and did everything Mama and Papa Palmer told him to do.
Okay, Raymond.
Probably.
Everything was pretty
Also, I
typical
saw that
for Ray
Aladdin
until
clip.
one fateful night when he took
Not
a walk
clip
to take
it,
his mind
text,
off a
but
frustrating
nice.
experiment and saw a meteor fall from the sky.
He ran off to
Oh,
the
what,
crash
did
and
another
found himself a
Kryptonian land on
life-changing
Earth?
piece of a white dwarf star, and immediately started messing around with
Of
it.
course you do,
Who
because
wouldn't?
comics.
He discovered that he could focus ultraviolet rays through it and shrink inanimate objects. There was just one problem. When he shrunk things, they exploded. Every time.
Huh?
I do not see the problem. Sounds like he found
So
a foolproof
what?
way
It
of
just
blowing stuff
molecularly
up. Explode.
overloads their
Ray
cells
was
and
determined to figure out how to shrink objects without blowing them up.
combusts.
But first, he went on a hike with his
Spontaneously.
nature club. And as a fellow scientist, I have to question his priorities.
But hey, it seems
I'm
to
not
work
even
for
a
him.
scientist,
I
and I'm
support it.
questioning his
Different
priorities.
hikes for different mics, am I right?
While in a cave, the ceiling suddenly collapsed, trapping everyone inside. After
I will
searching
say,
high
like
and low
always,
for another
the
exit,
editing for
Ray
the-
found a small
Oh
opening
yeah,
and had an
definitely. The
idea.
editing for the
He could
comic
try to
stuff has
shrink
gone
himself
really
down
well
and
the
get
past
help,
few seasons.
even if it meant he might
I know that's like saying
explode before he
the
got the
sky
chance.
is blue,
But
but
he
it's just
didn't
another
explode.
dimension.
I hope this story has a happy ending at least.
Perplexed, Ray determined there must have been something special about him that made him uniquely immune to the explosive fate. Something super scientifically convenient that we never get any more information on.
Why
so
not?
He got to work and created himself a suit
Why
to harness
not?
the power of the White Dwarf Star and became the
Oh yeah, we're
Atom.
already mentioning the White
Adam
Dwarf
uses
Star.
the
That's
White
gonna be
Dwarf
fun.
fragment to decrease his size while having control over his density, which makes a lot of sense considering that white dwarfs have the mass of a star, like the sun, but their volume is more like the Earth's, making them among the densest objects in space.
Just
Okay.
a teaspoon of the stuff could weigh up to 100 tons. That's one strong spoon.
When Adam shrinks and shifts his
Only
weight,
a
he's actually
spoonful?
sending his extra mass to
God,
a dimension called
I
the
hate
mass
modern
zone.
weakness
Where
society.
Adam could maybe live forever. At one point, Ray's apprentice Ryan Choi was murdered by Deathstroke, but willed some of his mass to the mass zone and was able to survive in that dimension.
What?
So these guys can potentially cheat death, but would be stuck there without any outside help.
But
So
from
what,
one
they're just
scientist to
stuck
another,
there
what's
in
most
limbo,
impressive
essentially.
is Ray's creation of the bio belt. That's what allows
The
Adam to use the power
bio
of the white
belt?
dwarf and shrink while maintaining any weight, from immaterial to his full 180 pounds. There's even been times where it's stated that he was able to become almost as dense as a white dwarf star itself for a few seconds.
Really?
The belt is also how
Again,
you can
already
travel
going
through
into
phone
White
lines or
Dwarf
through
Star
the air
stuff.
on currents or light
Flash
beams.
enough
Over
wasn't
time,
already
Ray has
busted.
spread out the White Dwarf power to other parts of his suit, and now the bio belt acts as a utility belt for his shrunken weapons and tech.
So he's got
it
all-
also
he's
prevents his
got his own
size or
little
mass
back
from
belt.
being altered by any outside forces.
And while he can only increase his size back to his natural 6 feet in height, his ability to shrink is near limitless. He can travel between subatomic
I mean, it makes
space to
sense.
the
His name
microverse,
is
the
the
foundation
atom.
of all reality in the
You'd
DC
imagine he'd
universe,
go
where
to,
atoms become the size
You know,
of
similar
planets.
spaces like
Typically,
that.
he can increase back to his normal size with such force he can smash through diamonds. So if Adam increases his size too much while still within the microverse, he could blow up the entire fabric of reality from the inside out.
What?
Shrinking down to that size
That's
means that you can shrink small
ridiculous.
enough to rearrange atoms themselves.
Yep, Ray
Oh,
can take
yeah, he can-
individual
he can do
molecules
that.
and rapidly expand them to cook up a small nuclear blast in the palm of his hand. Oh, Raypalmer. I just got that.
He also once designed
God
a bomb by
fucking damn it,
rearranging
Mystic.
its atoms. At that size, he can move at the velocity of light.
Oh,
so fast
oh,
and so
so we're not
random,
gonna do
he
the
basically
velocity
acted as
of
a barrier
God
between
shit,
any
huh?
and all possible atom combinations. But come on, there's no scientific explanation here for him to have superhuman senses or awareness to
Yeah,
comprehend being everywhere
That
at the same
shouldn't
time.
that shouldn't
Makes
check
total
out.
sense. If you're small enough, you can
But
fit
hey,
in
Justice
almost
League
everything,
Unlimited. Nice.
everywhere, all at once. Like how you can fit an entire pizza into a calzone, and then you have a whole pizza everywhere inside the calzone. Man, I get it. Science is pizza.
No! Science is all I
Ah.
have! Why are you doing this to me?
On
He is
top of all
actively
of Ray's
ruining
amazing
Wiz's
inventions and
only
abilities,
hobby.
he's also got some more classic weapons, like a laser blaster and a freaking sword he used to fight a giant crocodile. Relative to his size.
That was when
I
Ray
like
was
the
believed to be
music they're
dead, but was
playing
actually
here.
just stuck at 6 inches tall and stranded in the Amazon rainforest, where he encountered an alien race known as the Catarthans.
And get this, he ended up leading a rebellion against their tyrant king and became the ruler of all the Kardashians.
And his heroism didn't
He
stop there.
overcame
The Atom was a very well-respected
society.
hero, and was even asked to join the Justice League of America shortly after it was formed.
He fought alongside
Wow,
Batman
great.
and his best bud, Hawkman. And you don't fight with those guys
Oh yeah,
without picking
Hawkman,
up a
that's a
thing or two.
character.
Impressive combat skills
That I
aside,
totally
Adam's
remember.
greatest contribution to the legendary team was always his incredible mind.
He once created kryptonite
Mighty
inside of
smart
Superman by
idea,
realizing that if he
Justice League,
gathered
because
up
I'm
enough
smart.
Kryptonian protons, they would eventually become radioactive.
While stranded in limbo, Adam realized that if the Flash sped up the rate of a nuclear reaction's stellar evolution to exhaust its core, they could turn a fire demon into a black hole and use it as a wormhole to get back to Earth.
He's a brilliant, hard-working, and determined scientist that never stops working on a problem
Black
until
hole,
he's
that-
found a
that's all I
solution.
heard.
I mean, if I figured out how to blow stuff up as well as he did, I would have stopped right there. I'm the hero that blows stuff up. Wouldn't even need to change my name.
Ray Palmer lived the dream, going from research scientist to legendary superhero. He picked up the pieces presented to him and built something greater than the sum of its parts.
Who knew this tiny titan with massive brains would have just as much brawn to back it up?
All right, the combatants are set. We've
Marvel
indicated
Superhero
all
Squad! Holy
possibilities.
shit, that's a
It's
show I haven't
time
seen in
for
God
a
knows
death
how long.
battle!
Alright. Sprite fight, let's see how it's going down.
You should pick on someone your own size, relatively speaking.
How did you do this? It's laced with a particle I've never seen before.
They're called Pym particles. And I'm hankpym, scientist.
The voice
supreme.
acting's really
Who
good
should have
here.
knocked?
Okay, that's a weird way to initiate the fight, I guess. I love the set piece. No! I love the little set piece they got here. Walls.
You're using pieces of a white dwarf star? That's cute.
Everything we needed already existed. You just needed to be smart enough to put the pieces together. Scientist Supreme?
He's gonna mention that a lot in the fight, is it? Damn it.
Did you know that at any given moment, there are about 2.5 million ants under your feet?
I mean,
Thank
that
you for
makes
being
sense, but
scientifically
why are
factual.
you bringing that up right now?
Thank you. I could use a bit more science in my life. Why are they purple? Also, am I missing something, or when did he get a sword? No! The ants!
Okay, let's try this.
Oh. So we tried shrinking Adam, okay.
I'll hack his belt. You lay low and let me know what you find. Huh?
Nice
Yes,
try.
Queen. Alright. But now he's red.
If I search every electron path in his gun and study their probability wave functions, I just might be able to!
This might be the most analyzed battle of the entire show. The microverse. Okay. Grow big. Gigantamax. Or Micromax, which...
What's happening? He must be reaching his limit. If we don't get out of here quick, he's gonna destroy all of reality. Now, my pets! You have your
he
tricks
broke
and
it.
your tools, but I created something beyond the limits of human existence. I operate on a scale you can't even comprehend.
Oh, wow. Okay. Over space. Oh, hello, Eternity.
You can't be afraid to think big.
Oh, that is terrifying. That is a terrifying way to go. Jesus.
Ant-Man and Adam both had
It
many
reminds me
answers
of
to each other's
Devora's
abilities and
fatality
arsenals.
from Mortal Kombat
Both were
11.
able to store
Jesus.
various weapons at a shrunken state.
That
Both
was
were
really-
trained
that was
in
really
judo,
nice.
and they both could obviously keep up with each other's ability to shrink at will.
Though there was one small thing Adam couldn't answer to. The ants! Hank's bond with his pets led him some small
Ants.
advantages, and Ray just didn't
Is
have
that the
enough
reason why he
anti-ant
wanted
tools in his
ants?
bio belt.
But in Adam's defense, the fact that he could punch with a fist packed with all of his mass meant that a close-up fight, while small, would leave Hank
Infinite
with few
mass
options
punch.
since he can only punch with his normal human strength.
Even still, all Ant-Man would need to do is keep his dissed ants with the help of his insect confidants and
Please,
devise another
stop
plan
with
of
the
ant
ant
attack,
puns.
something Hank has no shortage of.
For instance, Ant-Man could alter Adam's size thanks to the Pym particle field he generates. Hank would just need to stall long enough to remove or disable Adam's biobelt, and he's had no trouble hacking enemy tech in the past.
But even with the bio belt busted, it wouldn't stop Adam's ability to shrink since
Yeah.
the white dwarf power is contained throughout his suit. Destroying the belt only meant that Ant-Man could alter Adam's size.
Whereas Hank has literally rewritten his own biology to prevent outside
yeah, that makes
size
a lot more
alteration.
sense.
And while Adam's abilities are definitely impressive, they are limited, and Ant-Man simply aren't, at least by comparison. Hank could always match Ray's size or just take the fight to the overspace where he would have the edge, both physically and mentally.
The
Yeah.
overspace can mess with the human mind,
He's kinda
but
got
we've
that in
seen
the
that Hank
bag.
can handle it.
But if the Scientist Supreme is really so smart, why didn't he just immediately go up Adam's butt and blow him up from the inside?
What's
Ugh.
wrong with you, Wiz?
Come
Aren't you a fellow
on.
man
I thought
of
we were over
science?
that.
This is the meanest thing you've ever done to me.
Adam sized up Ant-Man, but in the end, he was the one who had to say, Uncle.
The winner is Ant-Man.
Alright. Fair
Thanks for
play,
watching.
fair
Stay
play.
tuned, we have a new Death Battle releasing every 2 weeks this year.
Yep,
And click
every
the
2
join button to
weeks.
get new perks and extra content. Planet level members even see
Alright,
Death
what we
Battles
got next?
before anyone else, so don't miss out.
Oh, it's okay. We're doing that one. Okay, Chosen One versus Dragonborn. Okay, I can do that. Alrighty then. That was very fun, and I wasn't expecting that matchup to appear anytime soon. I thought that'd be for, like, somewhere in the mid-season break, but wow, okay. That was Ant-Man versus Atom. I probably might need to rewatch that a couple more times just so when I can understand the reason why he won. But overall, that was a pretty good time. Gnarly as hell death, by the way. Voice acting was pretty good. I think, like I said, this might be one of their more in-battle analyze-y things that they've done in quite a bit. So it was nice to see them play off each other like that. But yeah, that has been my reaction. Bye. I'll see you next week. Well, next 2 weeks, but you get what I mean, damn it. Anyway, bye.